Alright, welcome to the Powerful Komiksman podcast. This is Gerald Dorado and this is Komiksman Daily. Alright, so hindi ko na naman nagampanan ng pagiging daily ng podcast natin, ng Komiksman Daily. Pero I'm trying to I'm gonna be recording today several episodes. So that's the new approach, 'di ba? Para tapos I'm just gonna upload it evenly and hopefully I get to discuss several topics good for a few days today and upload them and schedule the publishing date. Okay? And and one of the topics that I wanted to talk about is actually medyo late na tayo. We've missed the bus na na matunog tong topic na to. And actually, if you check the previous Comicsman Daily episode that we had, I was talking about Voltes 5 Legacy. Okay, and right after publishing that, natulog ako. Okay, natulog ako and pagkagising ko nung umaga, merong issue concerning Voltes 5 Legacy. And it involves my mentor. Actually, to those who are not familiar, Pol Medina was, I consider him as one of my greatest mentors in art and comics kasi I worked with him many moons ago. And basta mahal ko yung si Pol Medina and meron siyang comic strip and hindi siya nagustuhan basically nung writer ng Voltes 5 kasi it talks about Voltes 5 Legacy. Okay. And the thing with Pol Medina is Okay. So basically merong comic strip si Paul and nakita to nung head writer ng Voltes 5 Legacy na si Suzette Doctolero, and you can see the comic strip right now on screen if you are watching on YouTube. And okay, basahin natin. Basically, first panel, eto, si Paul Gas is talking. Sabi niya, si Suzette Doctolero pala ang head writer ng Voltes 5 Legacy. Tapos si Mang Dagul, naku, parang ganun. And then, baka naman imbes na laser sword, magsampalan at magsabunutan na lang sila. So, kayo talaga. Hindi pa nga palabas, hinuhusgahan nyo na. Sabi ni, ano pangalan nito? Hindi si Tiny to. Puta, nalimutan ko. Ang pangalan ni si Honey Cured. Nalimutan ko pangalan po. Bad trip. Tapos sabi ni Paul Gas, dapat si Bitoy ang magsulat dyan para faithful sa source material at sisiguruhin pa niya na may mapuputulan ng ari. Sino? Si Shul, diba? Sabi ni Paul and ni Paul Gas. Tapos hindi nga, tatanda niya na. So, di ko alam kung totoo yung trivia na yun, na napatulan ba ng edit si Zul? Alam ko, naputol yung niya, yung sungay. Siguro baka, I don't know, maybe it's an inside joke with them, or maybe it really happened in the original anime. Hindi ko tanda. Kasi, basta, hindi ko tanda kung totoo yun. Anyway, ano bang nangyari? So, basically, hindi naman if you're gonna ask me, I think this comic strip is kind of actually very benign. Hindi naman siya offensive, pero if you're gonna as a whole, pero Suzette Doctolero took yung word, yung phrase na yung doon sa second panel, baka naman imbes na laser sword, magsampalan at magsabunutan na lang sila. Yun yung offensive sa kanya. She even called it exactly that, offensive. Diba? So, sabi niya, that is offensive kasi, ang sabi niya, Sobrang baba naman yata ng tingin ni Paul sa soap opera at sa drama writer para i-reduce ito sa sampalan at sabunutan. Offensive ito. Katumbas ito ng Baduy at Bakya noong 80s hanggang early 2000s, kung saan binabagsak at minamata lang ang soap opera at ang mga manunulat nito. Pero tingnan mo, hanggang ngayon buhay ang soap opera habang sisinghap-singhap ang cartoons ni Paul. Joke? Alangan naman ikaw lang ang pwedeng mag-joke. Hehehe. So, naka ano yun, parenthesis. Kailan din kaya huling nanood ng soap itong mamang ito at nasa sampalan at sabunutan mode pa rin. Hello, may tadyakan na rin kami ngayon. Sayang, wala pa yata ako sa showbiz. Sinusubaybayan ko na ang Pugad Baboy. Mukhang Pugad Baboy eh. Mukhang misogynist din naman. Anyway, so nagpaliwanag pa siya, medyo mahaba pa to, wag na natin basahin lahat. You can check it out. It's a public post, so I think I can read it on this video, on a public video. So, yun. Let's break it down. Break it down. Yo. Okay, so actually, well, this post nitong si Suzette, paano ba natin uumpisahan to? Okay. Etong si Suzette Doctolero kasi already has a reputation. Okay, let's put that in that context. So meron na siyang reputation to be a feisty character in on TV. Actually, sa totoo lang, siya lang ang kilala kong writer for soap opera writer. Siguro merong ibang soap opera writer na I would be familiar with sa name, pero hindi ko alam na soap opera writer sila. Pero kumbaga parang si Suzette, siya yung I think she's the only soap opera writer who takes the spotlight and actually create headline news and create issues. Well, especially now in the age of social media, tweets and Facebook, diba? And meron na siyang notoriety on being someone who pushes back, 'di ba? And sometimes ano siya, feisty yung pag-push back niya. Katulad nito, ito perfect example. Parang okay, sasabihin mo na offend siya sa sampalan at sabunutan na line. So in return, ininsulto niya rin yung yung Pugad Baboy, saying na it is kumbaga compared to to her medium, sisinghap-singhap kumbaga. And also may pahaging pa siya na na misogynist din naman. Well, I've been a Pugad Baboy fan since well, I first read it. I do not remember when, pero I fully uh na tawag dito, na appreciate ko talaga yung Pugad Baboy when I was in grade 6 when I first read a compiled book ng comic strips, and doon ko nakita yung brilliance, actually genius of Pol Medina, and the potential of the comics medium in telling stories. Okay, so ganun. May notoriety siya. So bakit siya si back to Suzette. Okay? So may notoriety si Suzette Doctolero on pushing back. And what is she pushing back from? What one, of course, is the common notion, yung talagang stereotype ng mga soap opera na, yun nga, sabi niya, bakya at saka yung tropes na hindi na parang hindi sila makaalis. And while it was true back then, ang ang thing kasi is parang I think ganito kasi ever since of course ang mga writers and producers ng mga soap opera are familiar with that. Okay, and syempre artist din yung mga yan eh. Whether you think they're kung tingin mo mataas yung sarili, yung mataas ang tingin mo sa sarili mo as or if you're gonna compare them to let's say artists like let's say Neil Gaiman, mga ganyan, yung mga hindi bakya na for the lack of a better term na hindi bakya, mga ganyan. So, you might say, let's say Lord of the Rings, 'di ba? Parang if you're gonna compare, kumbaga comparing ano bang mga trabaho ni Suzette. I think she was part in a way with alias Robin Hood or Victor Magtanggol, 'di ba? Hindi ko alam kung siya yung head writer nun. Teka, check natin. Inopen ko yung Wikipedia ni Suzette eh. And okay, maghanap tayo dito ng okay, let's say My Husband's Lover. Actually, may mga ganda naman siyang gawa. Actually fan ako ni Suzette Doctolero. Actually, totoo yun. Totoo. I'm really a fan of hers. Nag-message pa nga ako sa kanya before kasi I was trying to write a story. Naging fan ako niya with Amaya. Actually, hindi pa siya ganun kasikat kasi wala pang masyadong social media nun and she's not making noise for herself back then. I already researched her. Inabangan ko talaga kung sino yung writer ng Amaya kasi I really loved that series. Naging amazed ako doon ko na discover yung Bakunawa, doon ko na yung mga tawagan nila dati, yung mga diyan, mga ganyan, tapos yung culture, although it's not exactly accurate historically, pero may mga creative freedoms eh. And sometimes you can kumbaga give license to the artist on whatever they want to do with that creative freedom. So, okay lang 'yon, 'di ba? It's not a perfect series by any stretch of the imagination, but it's well made. It's well made. Maganda siya. If you can try watching it and be reasonable, okay? If you're gonna watch it and expect to see, let's say Harry Potter level ng mga special effects, then gago ka, 'di ba? Sira ulo ka, hindi naman yun eh. Alam mo naman parang but just appreciate the storytelling and the research behind the writing. Kasi doon ko nakita yung ano eh. If you're gonna watch it, you will know, especially if you are a fellow writer. Kasi ako writer din ako aside from being an illustrator. I am really a writer as well. That's why minessage ko nga siya kasi I wanted to ask about her sources dun sa Amaya, kung ano yung mga binasa niyang libro para ma-research yung about tawag doon yung mga pre-colonial Philippines, alin yung mga sources niya, saan library siya naghanap, sino mga taong kinausap niya, mga ganun. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a reply. And well, that's okay. Alam nga, kung hindi niya trip, edi anong magagawa ko? Lang namang mag-iyak pa ako, 'di ba? It's not something I would I would lose sleep over until a few years later, she started being in news. Parang nagagalit siya, ganyan, and may mga posts siya na naging viral. Naging notorious lalo siya when during the Duterte administration kasi isa I think it's fair to call her a rabid DDS kasi spicy yung mga takes niya, and she's not scared to uh, to go crass. Well, talaga namang crass yung mga sagot niya minsan. And whether she admits it or not, pero I think siguro may nababasa rin siyang mga attacks. So siguro ganong klase lang tao siya, parang she has the capacity to go alam mo yun, yung makipag sabayan kung gaano ka, how low you can get, 'di ba? I suppose hindi naman siguro, although ang mga accusations sa kanya is kahit subukan siyang kausapin ng matino, sasagutin siya ng pabalang. I'm not gonna bother to look for examples of that, pero yun yung nakikita kong uh, accusations about her. Maybe it's true, probably true, 'di ba? And but then also parang pag nasa page mo siya, tapos nasa page kanya, let's say nasa Facebook page mo ka, tapos merong mga tao na parang telling you this is how you should behave, parang mali ka ganyan, tapos parang syempre hindi mo naman pag-aaksaya ng panahon lahat 'yun, 'di ba? So most likely kahit against ka sa kanya, if you're gonna get mobbed by people na hindi mo naman kilala, hindi mo rin talaga papansinin, 'di ba? So especially kung napikon ka na, and ang magiging tendency kasi niyan is pag sa'yo nangyari yun na ikaw yung pinuputakte ng mga kung ano ng mga bashers, there would be a tendency to lump every one of them na lahat kayo basher. Kahit may sense pa yung sinasabi mo, nandun ka pa rin sa category na basher, and ang defense mechanism sometimes would be automatic block. Kasi hindi, let's face it, means ako sa podcast ko, minsan this podcast I would get messages na parang although not that very often, parang parang biglang gustong makipagdebate sa akin. Sometimes I engage them a few lines, pero after a while hindi ko na pinapansin din sa okay, if that's kung ganun yung, kumbaga maglalagay lang ako ng kasi respectful naman usually yung mga nagme-message sa akin. So I would place my position, and then that's it. If he or she agrees, then bahala na sila, 'di ba? Basta yun yung position ko. Kasi I'm not, just because nag-disagree ka sa akin, it's I'm not obliged to change what I believe. Ganun. Kasi there's always not just two things to weigh at to look, two ways pala. There's not just two ways to look at anything. 'Di ba? There are probably countless of views that you can have on any particular subject. So if it's not, kahit ano yan, kahit politics pa yan, because you know what, nuances, parang if you let's say you're gonna talk about Duterte or Leni Robredo for that matter, or anyone, or let's say Kim Chu, mga ganyan, pwede kang kasi para most of the time people are just gonna categorize you as a hater or a fan. Pero yung mga in between, sus Mariosep, napaka ano yan. The spectrum is as wide as the entire grayscale spectrum, probably even more. I don't know. I'm not gonna count. Pero madaming nuances. Nuances makes difference. And nuances makes people real. Okay, so you can't just because although itong attack niya, balik tayo kay Suzette. Itong rant niya about Pugad Baboy is actually kind of unwarranted. Na-trigger lang talaga siya dito sa sampalan at sabunutan eh. And even though even though ininsulto niya si Paul as kumbaga parang irrelevant. Irrelevant na siya. Hindi niya papatulan to kung alam niyang irrelevant si Paul. Okay, alam niya na madaming nagbabasa ng Pugad Baboy. Si Pol Medina sells out books until this day. Okay, pag eto sasabihin ko, nakwento niya sa akin before, lahat ng books niya sells 25,000 copies back then nung hindi pa siya independent. That's why nagkaroon siya ng lakas ng loob maging independent eh. Kasi 25,000 copies ang nabebenta niya on the first edition ng publishing. So, sabi niya, kung ganun din lang, I can invest on my own printer and print the books myself. 'Di ba? And ganun ang ginawa niya. Ngayon, some 20 years later, ever since nakausap ko siya and I worked with him, malamang hindi nagkakalayo yung mga numbers na yun. It could be a little less and it could be a lot more. Who knows? He knows. Diba? Maybe we can ask him pag finally nakausap ko siya dito. But my point is, basically, Suzette Doctolero knows that what she's saying na irrelevant si Paul, kaya nga binawi niya eh. Sabi niya, alam namang ikaw lang pwedeng mag-joke. She knows that's bullshit. And if she really believed na irrelevant yung Pugad Baboy, hindi siya sasagot. Although there are instances na talagang hindi niya, parang dun sa mga subthreads, dun sa mga replies, sometimes feeling ko na she's just having fun. Na parang, okay, tangina nyo, okay. Kala nyo parang wala akong pakialam kung sino kayo dyan. Sasagot ako. Ganun. I think kasi why not? 'Di ba? Maybe some people would find it classless. Pero sino bang may sabi na hindi siya pwedeng maging classless? 'Di ba? Being classless is a choice. And what is being classless anyway? It is parang relative to what you believe. Kanya-kanyang definitions din 'yan. Sometimes parang she might look at it as just standing for herself, 'di ba? And yun nga sinabi ko na she just finds it amusing to quote unquote destroy fans, at least in her mind, 'di ba? Pwedeng ganun naman yun eh. And maybe therapeutic sa kanya, or maybe she's just really a nasty woman, 'di ba? Na parang inan nyo, 'di ba? Maybe she's kumbaga kasi ang common criticism sa kanya is she can't accept criticisms. So which is pwede. I see exactly why people would say that. But alam mo yun, if like I said kanina, pag dinumog ka kasi, hindi ka entitled just because meron kang criticism. Nasa tao pa rin yun if they want to change their ways. And from what dito sa rest ng post ni Suzette Doctolero, basically kasi the people who criticize soap operas are ang sinasabi niyan, stock ang yung same narrative eh, walang kwenta, tapos para paulit-ulit ang plots ng mga ng mga kwento, ganyan. Yung mga tropes hindi na makaget over doon, and yung quality of storytelling hindi maganda kasi binamadali lahat. Yun mga criticisms eh. Yung special effects mukhang tanga. Those are all valid criticisms, 'di ba? Pero ang sinasabi ni Suzette, and also this is also true to all all people na nakausap ko who are involved in local showbiz. No, I've had some of them on the show, from writers to directors. Meron kasi talagang limit ang kaya nilang gawin, whether in terms of budget and writing. Kasi especially on TV. Kasi TV, ang hari dyan is not really the viewers. Yun, hindi yung viewers ang pinapasaya nila dyan. Sinasabi nila lagi ng mga host, ng mga artista, at saka mga kung sino mga Poncio Pilato sa showbiz. Sinasabi nila, gusto lang naming pasayahin kayo, mga masa. Well, siguro ganun yung yun ang litanya. Pero sa totoo lang, pero ang pinaka pinapasaya talaga nila are the sponsors. Let's be real. Even the Suzette Doctolero, if by any chance na mapakinggan mo to, it is really the sponsors, yung mga nagpapa-commercial sa kanila, yun talaga ang ipini-please ng mga shows na to. Okay? Kasi sila yung nagbabayad. That's where they get their money from. And if that is why all shows are curated for the demographic of the sponsors customers. So, ang example niyan, one is let's say ang prime time na panggabi, 'di ba? So around 7 to 8 to 9, I think that's the prime time ng Philippine TV. So, sino mga nanonood nun? Usually mga housewives, usually mga katulong, mga nagpapahinga na, yung mga bagong uwi sa trabaho. Although nag-iba na rin kasi yung mundo ngayon with internet and work from home. Pero ibang topic na yun. I'm gonna digress again. So sino yung mga produkto na ginagamit nitong mga tao na to. So kung if you're a housewife or somebody usually housewives and house people, mga laging nasa bahay nung mga ganong oras. So ano mga papanoorin yan? Ano mga ginagamit yan? Yung mga panglaba, yung mga Joy, panghugas ng pinggan, di ba? Mga Ariel, mga McDo, 'di ba? Mga Jollibee. Yun yung mga prime time na na wala masyado yung mga ibang produkto na I don't know kung anong, siguro Shopee, mga ganyan. Siguro ngayon hindi na kasi ako nanonood ng TV talaga. And yun talaga ang yun talagang sponsors, yun talaga ang piniplease ng ng mga soaps, ng mga station. And I think, well, actually ang may directive talaga na ganun ang gawin ng mga writers. Kumbaga, kasi yung mga sponsors, if the people who buys their products do not watch, then bakit sila magi-invest doon? 'Di ba? Minomonitor nila yan kung sino yung mga nanonood. And it's pag nakita nila na hindi naman hindi nag hindi translate into sales yung mga ginagastos nila kasi ang mahal niyan, ang mahal ng isang commercial, 'di ba? That's worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands if not millions sometimes. Kung talagang matindi yung show, kung depende kung gaano kadami ang nanonood. So it's a very complicated thing na it's not enough yung yung artistic excellence ng writing, ng CGI, ng directing, and basically the overall production of the TV series or film. And it's a problem. It's a problem for artists. If you are not okay, si Budgetan, when I talked to him about 13 na merong nag-offer sa kanya to to get it adapted in Philippine TV. Yung network wanted full creative control of the IP, and gusto lang maglagay ng mga elements na wala dun sa sinulat ni Budgetan. And Budgetan, well, he's not hindi siya he's a real artist na, in a sense, real artist, when I say real artist, na yung he values the artistic integrity of his work more than yung mga interests ng network or the sponsors. So he declined. Hindi niya gustong gawin yun. And that's his choice. But then there are people like Suzette na okay sa kanya yun. Okay, she can compromise. She can compromise, and she is up to the challenge on how best she could create something na nagko-comply doon sa gusto ng audience, ng sponsors, ng network, at kung ano yung gusto niya. And I think she enjoys her job and she is very proud of it. That is why she is offended heavily when people shit on her work. But then again, if you pag may mga shows ka na nakikita na katulad nung Karamiya, 'di ba? Walang mga pag nakita mo yung Surter sa Victor magtanggol na mukhang tanga talaga. She can't also hindi rin niya masisisi na na yung mga tao to be highly skeptical about VOLTES 5 legacy in particular. Kasi like I mentioned in the first podcast about VOLTES 5 legacy, mahal na mahal ng mga Pilipino si VOLTES 5. And gusto nilang alagaan yan. And si VOLTES 5 is gonna be parang put into the care of somebody that a lot of people don't trust. Or at least those people in social media don't trust the fan base of VOLTES 5. Yung mga fan base ng yung mga hardcore. Kasi nanonood na ng anime yan, may TV yan, may cable yan, may internet yan. And they're not young, basically. VOLTES 5 Legacy is catering. Ang manonood niyan initially would be people in my age, 'di ba? Mga 30 plus or yun yung unang manonood niyan. Yung ang pinakabatang excited manood ng VOLTES 5 would be at least the kids of the 2000s, late 90s, 2000s, kasi yun yung huling time na super sikat ni Voltes 5 sa Pilipinas. Of course, they are trying to capture new audiences, yung mga mas bata, and hopefully they succeed. Alam mo, I really hope they can pull it off. Kasi um, the production is using different tactics this time. And I think, hindi ko alam si Suzette Doctolero. So head writer siya. Pero I think from what I heard, parang hindi na nila hindi na nila full control yung creative storytelling. I'm not sure, mga nababasa ko lang 'yan. Pero kumbaga parang gusto nila yung Toei siguro ang merong mandate na parang if you're gonna do this, you have to follow some guidelines, 'di ba? And and I think based on the cast na ginawa nila, especially for the main Voltes team, ano siya eh, they're gambling on new faces. And walang Alden Richards dito. Hindi ko kilala tong mga to, 'di ba? Hindi si hindi si Jeneline Mercado. Kumbaga walang, I don't know, maybe these guys are big deal, hindi ko lang kilala. Pero they're not banking on household names. And I think that's a good thing. They're gonna create new stars. They're gonna give opportunities to uh, to new artists, 'di ba? And I think in Voltes 5 Legacy, they are trying to revitalize the network. And I really hope they make a good job. Kasi mahal ko si Voltes 5 eh. Yun nga lang, tangina, pag naalala ko yung Karamiya, pag naalala ko yung Victor Magtanggol, pag naalala ko yung Zaido, 'di ba? Nakaka wala talaga ng kumpiyansa. Okay sana, although pag napanood mo yung actually Amaya talaga ang favorite na ano eh. Favorite na tawag doon na teledrama, kung mong tawag nila ngayon diyan, na local production sa TV. Kasi believe talaga ako sa research and maganda yung kwento. Maganda yung kwento. Pangit yung CGI, okay na ba? Kumbaga the editing could be better. The cuts, the scenes could be shot better. Pero the kwento, yung pagkakwento niya, yung kumbaga it's smart, matalino. And I can tell na si Suzette Doctolero ay matalino, 'di ba? She's not if you sinasabi nila may mga nababasa ako na na criticism sa kanya. Tama si Suzette eh. Hindi kayo nanonood. Yun yung isang balik lagi ng mga ano eh, ng mga people sa showbiz, ng mga creators. Uh, hindi 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 kayo nanonood, kuda kayo ng kuda, pero hindi naman kayo nanonood. So manood muna kayo. Pero actually itong si Paul eto, so, sinusuportahan niya rin talaga ang ano eh, ang Voltes 5 Legacy. Kasi sinabi niya may mga post siya na sana bigyan natin ng pagkakataon na gumawa ang local productions ng mga ganitong project. And they are risking something. This is a risk. And I think they found in Voltes 5 the perfect opportunity to do it. Kasi alam nga ng GMA na ganun natin kamahal si Voltes 5. So siyang candidate talaga for this. And eto, sabi ni Pol Medina, kahit pangit Kahit pangit yung Voltes 5, panoorin pa rin. Kasi para hindi ma-discourage na gumawa ulit ng mga ganun. Mga ganung klase. Because it's different. Voltes 5 Legacy is a huge risk for GMA 7. Kasi una, hindi nila alam kung papanoorin pa siya ng mga dating fans. At hindi nila alam kung susuportahan ito ng mga bagong fans, ng mga bagong viewers. They are hoping they can get both or at least one of those demographics. Pero one thing is for sure, if Voltes 5 Legacy fails, then babalik tayo sa Karamiya. Ganun na naman ang makikita natin. Na talagang hindi mo alam, Karamiya is the most ridiculous TV show I've ever seen. Talagang yun talaga tae yun sa paningin ko. Sorry, I'm sure a lot of people uh, tawag doon, spent countless hours and effort to create that. Pero the material is just really shit. Yun ang malungkot doon. Nagpakapagod ka over something that is bullshit, that is talagang creatively parang sabaw. Kung magpapagod ka na rin lang, gandahan mo na. 'Di ba? I'm sorry, nanood ako nun, okay? Tiningnan ko talaga kung ano. And pangit talaga. Pangit talaga yung kwento. Okay, so Madam Suzette, sana alam, I think meron ding conundrum sa sa situation ni Suzette Doctolero. Kasi obviously to me, she is she's actually a talented and dedicated writer. I'm sure kung if she works in a studio na Hollywood level lang ang ang capabilities, I'm sure she could create something like yung mga pinapanood ko ngayon, mga Vikings, 'di ba? Siguro yun ang wet dream ni Suzette Doctolero, 'di ba? Kaso hindi ganun yung hindi ganun mag-isip ang GMA 7, 'di ba? Pero ngayon, they are risking some things. Kasi gito sinabi ni nga ni Suzette, 20 years, sabi dito sa, di lang 20 years pala, sabi dito sa Wikipedia, she started working on TV 1988. 1988 pa. So 30 years plus na siya na na nagsusulat para sa TV. I don't know kung sa TV, basta 1988 pa siya active until now. And she's been making noises. She's been relevant at least the early 2000s until now. Di ko alam kung kailan siya naging head writer ng GMA. Wag na nating alamin, di ba? Pero she's been handling, siguro sa Encantadia siya, I don't know. I don't want to speculate on her career. It's not important right now. Pero what's important is she is at the helm of the biggest, maybe the second, kasi ABS-CBN kasi hindi parang pilay ang ABS-CBN ngayon eh. I don't know, arguably the biggest network in the Philippines right now. And they're taking risks on Voltes 5, and I hope they succeed. And hindi ko alam how much it kills her na hindi niya magawa ma-execute, or hindi niya alam kung dadating ang panahon na execute properly ang ang visions niya for Voltes 5 or for TV. Of course, mas gusto niyang gumawa ng ng mga original. Maybe if when the time comes na malupit na kaya nating gumawa ng mga production like, let's say, Vikings, Game of Thrones, maybe ma-remake yung mga ginawa niya, di ba? Kasi hindi ko alam kung hmm and kasi she claims na she knows the masses. She claims that she knows the masses. She claims that alam niya, sila yung nakakaalam kung paano gumawa nito. Of course, sila yung pinaka-experts right now, pero the question is it really effective? And should we stick to that alone? Na ilang dekada na ang Pinoy TV na just following the same hindi yung hindi yung plots hindi yun the same mentality na ang hari ay ang mga sponsors. Well, dapat ganun pa rin, pero I think the thing is they need to make the sponsors change their mind as well, na parang hindi lang yung bulsa nyo ang importante. Kailangan gumawa tayo ng art. And I don't think there's enough effort from the producers and the creators to convince them na parang okay, dapat meron din tayong kumbaga parang hindi pwedeng ganyan lang, hindi pwedeng yung bulsa nyo lang iniisip namin. Dapat if they're gonna push back, if people like Suzette Doctolero are gonna push back, don't push back on the fans who are demanding better products who deserve better products, better TV shows. Sabihin nyo dun sa mga sponsors, dun sa mga mayayaman na hindi lang yung kita nilang importante. Dapat meron ng GMA7 na standard for them. Na parang dapat meron kaming ina-uphold na quality ng shows. And that magkaroon sila ng balls, magkaroon sila ng stand, because you are creating culture. You are making the standard. Kumbaga, kayo ang naghahawak ng bandila ng Pilipinas as artists. And Suzette Doctolero, I know she is hurt kasi lahat yung mga comic book artist na nakikinig, konting-kanti nga lang dun sa parang pangit yung drawing mo ng kamay. Ito magwawala ka na 'di ba? What more kung sandamakmak pa, nasasabi nasa sampalan pa rin kayo, 'di ba? When you think in your mind na hindi na, 'di ba? Teka, maybe dati ganun, pero hindi na. And pero I think yung rage ni Suzette, while it is warranted, I would give her that. That is her right. Pero I think it is a little misdirected. I think there is a lot of frustration involved on her kasi may mga gusto siyang gawin na hindi niya magawa. Pero ang pumipigil sa kanya doon hindi yung mga manood. Ang pumipigil sa kanya para hindi niya magawa yung mga ginagawa niya is the system kung saan naroon siya. Okay, so yes, you are the best people to do this. Kasi kayong eksperto. Yun ang sinasabi niya dito. Sinong gagawa niyan? Yung cartoonista na laos na sinasabi niya? Yung mga commentators na walang alam, na hindi nanonood? Of course not. Tama siya. Hindi nga kami ang gagawa nun. Pero kung kayo talagang gagawa nun, pero what we are saying is, in the system that you're working in, I'm sorry, pero unsatisfactory. That is maybe the kindest word I can use. Kumbaga, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So, and Suzette is I think she values herself as a high level artist, 'di ba? And nakita ko kanina, she used to work with Duwalhati Bautista, 'di ba? And mentor niya yata si Luwalhati Bautista. And she's she has worked with uh, with icons in publishing, and she's created Encantadia na alam mo yun, daming awards na nakuha, and a lot of other shows, and so, and not to mention, made a lot of made a shitload of money dito sa trabaho niya for more than 3 decades. And yun. Ano pa sasabihin ko? 'Di ba? Pero I think gusto niyang makilala as somebody na parang maybe parang J.K. Rowling ng Pilipinas. Pwede siyang, maybe she thinks, maybe lang naman maybe, Madam Suzette, wag kang ano, I'm just speculating here, 'di ba? Parang this is just a thought experiment, just the same as a commentary. Okay? So, pwede kasing yun ang naiisip niya, pwedeng hindi. Pwedeng hindi sumagi sa isip niya yun. Pero, I'm sure, mahal niya yung trabaho niya. And it shows. And it shows in her passion in defending her work and her industry. So, I don't know exactly, pero she wants respect. Not just for her, but for the industry. And ang problema is, nahihirapan ang mga tao na irespeto siya. And yung mga nanonood sa kanya, most of them are, yung mga kumakampi sa kanya, most of them are, mga showbiz fans yan eh. So, yung mga fans ni Marian Rivera, syempre, ipagtatanggol nila yung Amaya. Mga fans ni, kung sino mang, mostly ganun eh, mga nasa industry nila. Syempre, they got each other's backs. Pero I think for the most part ng mga nanonood talaga, they just really don't care. They just want to relax sa gabi, just watch. That's it. Parang hindi na nila masyadong iisipin kung okay ba yung pinanood nila, 'di ba? Kung hindi nila type yun, pupunta sa kabilang channel, 'di ba? Iba na lang gagawin niya, maglalaro na lang sila ng games. Pero yung so I don't know. Kung I think lang naman na si Suzette would want acclaim, like people like creators like Arnold Are, like Budget Tan, mga ganyan, like let's say Eric Mati. Siguro pwede mong isama yung mga yun. And si Suzette is parang unfortunately nandun pa rin siya sa bakya at least in the minds of a lot of people. And I'm sure it stings her kasi kung hindi ganun, na hindi man siya mag-react ng ganito, 'di ba? I think obviously she thinks what she's doing is way more than what the public thinks, and it hurts. And I think one solution that they can try is try talking to the people who provide the money. Na parang dapat may standards tayo. We're gonna guarantee you the money that people are gonna watch, pero you should also kumbaga parang dapat sundin nyo rin din tong standard na ito, na dapat ganito na hindi meron tayong, hindi na pwedeng bullshit lang, hindi na pwede yung karamiya. Alam mo yun, I was optimistic about the yung TV industry ng Pilipinas until I saw Victor Magtanggol and Karamiya. Akala ko okay na eh. Tapos biglang putangin na, bakit ganyan? And I think Voltes 5 Legacy is an attempt to kumbaga, revitalize Philippine television in the new decade sa 2020s, and I hope they succeed. Okay? And sobrang haba na naman ito. 2 hours? 2 hours na ba ako nagsasalita? Bad trip. Anyway, that's it. Komiksman Daily, Gerald Dorado. Follow this show on Instagram? No, not Instagram. Pero I also have Instagram. That's at Komiksman. And also on Facebook and YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and other podcast platforms. Diba siguro gagawa ako ng podcast na company na ang pangalan ay Other Podcast Platforms. 'Di ba? Para laging kasi hindi sa Pilipinas hindi na binabanggit yung Stitcher, 'di ba? Yung ano pa ba? Hindi ko na nga maalala yung iba, Spotify at saka Apple Podcast lang halos lagi. And yan, follow the page kasi I do live streams regularly, drawing companion streams, and also I just had a sizzling episode with a comedian named Chris Bakula just a few days ago, and it is spicy. Yon, check it out. Nandun, sobrang lupet, the YouTube channel as well. Yun na muna. Paalam. Powerful Comicsman Podcast.